The American horror story. Woo! That's scary, man. Have you seen anything scarier than that? I haven't. What's up, guys? It is Friday, May 10th, 2024. We're at the Bitcoin block high of 842,930. TikTok next block. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I've been watching the Alden new video. Have you guys seen that, man? It's crazy. I've seen that thing 3 times, maybe 4 now. It's a 30-minute video talking about basically the history of money and everything else. And this is what I tell you guys. Studying Bitcoin is in 3 stages, in my opinion. The history of money, how it started, the hardness of it, and everything else. And then learning about the fiat currencies in your country and the global reserve currency, aka the US dollar, aka the US dollar. And then figure out what the problems are when you look at that. Is this lady gonna hit me? And also find the solution to it. And Lynn Alden did an absolutely fantastic job in that video. Now, what I'm going to direct you to, and we talked about this a couple years ago, the changing world order. When I was watching Lynn Alden's video, it reminded me of the changing world order from Ray Dalio. Now, if you guys don't know who Ray Dalio is, he's a billionaire economist. I always mess that name up. And he made an incredible video too, which is funny because he made a similar video. Well, she made a similar video to his, and it's both of them are shortened versions. Where's my mind at? Shortened versions. VERSIONS of their books, right? It's really cool, man. And you know, I'm learning something about myself. And look at yourself when I'm saying this. The way I learned when I was a kid, I used to always read books when I was a kid. Just read a ton of books, right? Before like YouTube and all this other stuff. There's a lot of cars out here. And well, everybody's taking off at the same time. And I would walk to the libraries, you know, going to the, you know, I'll ride my bike to the library, stuff like that. And I was such a nerd back then. And I would just read. But as I got older and found like video clips and documentaries and YouTube and everything else, I'm noticing, and even animations on YouTube, I'm noticing that I obtain the information better because I'm a visual person, you know what I mean? And I've noticed that I read The Changing World Order, and I've also read Lynn Alden's book, The Broken Money. Now, that book is great, by the way. Now, I didn't physically read it. What's crazy is I got the Audible book. But I learned more in the shortened version because I read I listened to the whole book or read the whole book a couple weeks ago. I'm actually gone through it twice. But I learned more actually watching the shorter version of the video that I'm going to put both of the videos in the description box, by the way. Links to them. I learned more in the shorter versions. So what you got to do, and I talk to you guys about this all the time, is you got to learn how the world works, okay? But more importantly, is there's so much information out here. First of all, you got to be careful what you put in your mind and your subconscious and your area and stuff like that. But also, once you narrow down the thing that you want to learn about it as fast as you can because there's so many things to learn about, right? And again, it ain't all about gold and Bitcoin and all this other stuff, okay? Learn politics, learn that stuff like I always say. Learn as a grown man, because 98% of you guys, I looked at my analytics the other day for the first time. 98% of you guys are guys that watch my videos. I gotta get some more ladies. And as grown men, as family men, as leaders, because that's what we are, guys. Leaders, no offense to the ladies. You gotta learn how the world works as quickly as you can. And just get rid of the BS, right? Because there's plenty of that. Now, how do you do that, right? First of all, I don't got to tell you guys this, most of you guys, but just as a reminder, turn the effing TV off, man. Don't watch the freaking corporate media. And what's the corporate media? MSNBC or MSDNC, CNN. Wow, there are so many cars just getting in my way. It's like I'm. This is a video game or something. Everywhere I'm walking, there's a car coming. Anyways, what's the corporate media? CNN, aka the Clown News Network, Crime News Network, Clown News Network, whatever you want to call them, MSDNC, CBS, CNBC, NBC, Fox News too. They're corporate. And what does that mean? Corporate? I mean corporations buy their time, right? If you see these certain companies, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and you know, whatever, they are paid propagandists, man. They are state propagandists. Okay, let's just say that before I get in trouble on YouTube. Turn that garbage off, right? Now, if you want to watch like a Dave Chappelle show or something like that, and laugh and stuff, because that's how I look at the mainstream media now. It's almost like a clown show. Now, I didn't really mean Dave Chappelle. I mean like a comedy show. Excuse me, not a clown show, a comedy show. If you want to just look at it and just laugh for 2 minutes, because now you know that it's a lie. Because I didn't know it was a lie a few years back. I didn't know all that crap was a lie. You know, guys, listen. You got to do something today that your future self will thank you for, right? I smash bought twice today, Bitcoin when it went down, and I didn't even do it on purpose. It was just almost like a subconscious thing I just did. I didn't even know I did it till I did it, right? And every time I buy, I have this habit of. I didn't put my freaking phone on airplane mode, did I? Jeez. I have this habit of taking pictures of it, right? And I'll talk more about that in Satoshi Saturday videos, but I like to keep a documentation of that, of what the Satoshis were costing, you know, on that date or whatever. And it's crazy. And the reason I'm saying do something today that your future self will thank you for is, guys, you watch plenty of BS TV. You watch plenty of sports, which are a waste of freaking time. Do you know you can watch a basketball game now in 9 minutes, by the way? I do that now. If I want to watch a basketball game, do you think I'm going to sit there now for 2 hours and 45 minutes? What, there's 30 commercials, you know, 2 minutes a piece. It's just like an hour long commercial, maybe more than that, right? No way. Now you can just go on YouTube and you have a person that edits the videos for you, edits the whole game for you, and you can watch the whole game. You can see what, you know, you can look up the box score. You can see them scoring points. You know, they don't show like the misses and stuff. They just show the makes. And you can pretty much watch a whole game in 9 minutes. You can watch the whole bunch of playoff series. You can watch 4 or 5 games in probably less than an hour. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying you don't watch sports or don't watch your shows or nothing like that. You got to keep that stuff limited, right? Just like Jim Rohn said, the great Jim Rohn, the late great Jim Rohn says, work harder on yourself than you do at your job. If you're at your job from 9 to 5 and doing what you're supposed to and working for the boss, excuse me. If you're working for him hard as heck, and then you come home and you sit down and you're not working on yourself, you're not working on your body or your mind or your spirit or your knowledge outside of that job, you're never going to go anywhere, man. I have a friend. He's a grown man. He's 40 years old. He will not study money. He will not study the history of money. He will not study the current banking system, and he definitely won't study Bitcoin. But you know what he will do, though? He'll play video games on the weekend. He's like a cell phone player, nights and weekends. Remember those? Your time is finite, guys, okay? You know, it's not limited, man. It's not unlimited, excuse me. And you got to do what's best with that time. And again, I'm not saying you got to sit there and, 10 hours when you get off work, you got to, watch Bitcoin videos. I'm not saying that, right? You got to have a balance, of course. But what is that balance? I don't know. But if you don't think that your knowledge is that up to par with what's going on with Bitcoin, and you don't understand Bitcoin, and you don't understand how the monetary system works, or you don't know how to get your body right, or you're not reading your Bible and you're not spiritually right, or you don't understand how this country works, or whatever the field that you want to talk about, because I'm only talking about the things that I'm really concerned with, and most of you guys probably are too. If you're not up to par with that, and you know more about that stuff, or you know less about that stuff, and you know more about LeBron James and what he did the last game and how many points he scored, you got it twisted, man. You got it twisted. And listen, sometimes we need a kick in the butt, And I'm gonna leave those two video links in the description box below, and that'll get you started. I'm telling you guys, listen to me. Figure out how to learn the fastest you can and the most efficient you can, right? You don't want to have to watch stuff over and over and over again if you don't understand it. Now, I do that for certain things, right? But you want to grasp it the best you can. Now, I do watch things over and over again. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, sometimes when I'm reading a book, when I'm sitting there reading a book, I'm noticing that I have to read certain things over and over and over again. But when I do audio books, it sticks with me better, right? Even though I do listen to audiobooks twice, I'm gonna have to read a book 4 times. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a reader and that sticks with you better than on video or audio, audio or whatever it is, do that, right? And then move on to the next subject and keep going and going and going. And remember, take notes, use your flashcards, and focus. That is the key, man. When you're doing something, and figure out how long you have to focus. Sometimes for me, I can only focus for like 7 minutes sometimes. That's my little sweet spot, and I'll go hard for those 7 minutes. I know. That's what she said. I get. Well, that's what he said, or somebody said it. Well, I'll be setting myself up. Anyways, I know you guys like, this guy's an idiot. And you would be right. But you have to figure out that sweet spot, right? How many minutes that you can do to really, really focus in, right? Seriously. And then once you start getting foggy, put it down and stop. Do something else for a minute. Take a walk, whatever. Because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. That's just me. And come back to it, right? I'm telling you, mine is literally 7 minutes. I'm serious. And I'll stop for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever. And then I'll get back to it for another 7 minutes. Okay, so seriously, figure out what that sweet spot is. Get to working. Work harder on yourself than you do any job, man, seriously. And do something today that your future self will thank you for. It's all about compounding, right? Compound interest. Albert Einstein says the eighth wonder of the world. And if you are paying compound interest, or whether you receiving it, it can help you or hurt you. If you are putting money in the stocks, and let's say in the stock market or the market, and let's say you're getting 4 or 5% back every single year, that compounds on each other, and that's good. But it also works the other way. If you are paying inflation and you're 2 and 3 and 5 and 15% every single year in your money, you're losing money. If you are borrowing money and you're paying compound interest on that money every single year, it compounds. It's the same thing with your time, man. If you are compounding, or if you're watching video game or playing video games, watching sports, watching stupid television shows, if you're doing all that stuff, it's compounding, wasting your time, and you're putting stupid stuff in your head, and you're compounding stupid stuff, and guess what you're gonna be? But if you're learning stuff that you need to learn about, smart things that help you every single day and compound. When people talk to me, they really think that I'm smart. They have no idea, okay? I am not smart. But I will say this. A person that's smarter than me, which is 90% of the population, one thing he or she will never do is they won't outwork me. The great Will Smith said this. You can look it up. He goes, I don't care what happens. When we get on a treadmill, either one or two things are going to happen. He said this when you get on a treadmill, if you go against me. He goes, either one, you're going to stop before me, or two, I'm going to die. That's what he says. Because he says he'll never stop. And I'm the same way. I will never stop freaking learning. And you need to never stop learning. Because your time is finite. And speaking of finite, listen, your time is finite on this earth. Your life is finite. That's what your time is. That's what your energy is. It's finite. And since you're working and you're putting your hard, blood, sweat, and tears into your work, into your job, you might as well put that energy and save it into something that's just like your life, and that's finite. And I have a funny feeling you guys already know what it is. Do you need to take a guess? Let me help you out. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.